All right, unemployment is lingering around 9.7% right now, and that has a lot of people thinking of starting their own business. But our next guest says you should not do this, and it's a troubling trend. Carol Roth is a business strategist for both entrepreneurs and multinational companies. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, Alisyn. How are you?
I'm well. So listen, if you've lost your job during this recession, why isn't it the perfect time to start the business that you've always wanted?
Well, Alisyn, if you think about it, the odds are stacked against you to begin with. Up to 90% of new businesses fail within 5 years. So you've already starting with stacked odds against you. And then if you've lost your job, you really have the wrong mindset. You're thinking about you. You're not thinking about your customers. You're not thinking about the business myths that may be out there. And you're not thinking about stacking the odds in your favor. And if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Okay, so let's talk about the common myths that you say exist about business ownership. Number one, you get to be your own boss. Not true?
No, this is actually one of my favorite myths, Alisyn. You actually don't get to be your own boss. When you have a job, you have a few people you have to report to, a few people you have to suck up to, if you will, who decide whether you get hired, whether you get fired, how much you get paid, your hours. When you start your own business, Alisyn, you have to report to every single customer. So now you have dozens, maybe hundreds or thousands of people that you need to report to who decide whether you get paid and the hours you work. And guess what? They all have their own agenda.
Yikes.
And then, by the way, yeah, I know. Can you believe that? And then if you have lenders or investors, they're your boss. If you have a store, your landlord can be your boss. If you have vendors, they're your boss. And at the end of the day, you've just increased the number of bosses that you have exponentially.
Okay, next myth. You say you get to do more of what you love. Again, what's the problem here?
So you actually don't. I always say if you want to do what you really love, first get a hobby, then get a job, then get a business. When you run a business, your job is to really run a business. And that means that not only do you have to do whatever it is you love to do. If you like to bake lasagna, you can bake the lasagna, but then you also have to find a way to sell it. You have to do marketing, social networking, managing employees, everybody's favorite, accounting. And so you actually spend less time doing whatever it is you love to do and more time running a business.
Okay, myth number 3 I think is pretty self-explanatory. It's easy and you'll get rich quickly. I think you've debunked that, but I want to get to number 4. If you're good at something, you'll be good at running a business related to that. False?
Right. Well, right, that is false. And if you go back to my lasagna example, if you're good at making lasagna, there's no correlation that you're going to be good at running a restaurant or running a food company, because your job isn't to just make that lasagna, it's to run a business, Alisyn.
Okay, so let's quickly get to the odds of success so that we can turn it around for people who really do want to start their own business. Number 1, you say test out your business on a small scale. How do you do that?
This is absolutely one of the best things that you can do. Before you quit your day job and before you invest, thousands and thousands of dollars, try out your business on the side. So whether it's nights or weekends, invest a very small amount of money and see if the business is viable. See if you're actually going to have customers for your product or service so that you can prove to yourself that there's actually a market need before you go ahead and go full bore.
And Carol, the last 2, and I'm just going to run through them quickly. You say get relevant experience. If you think you want to open a restaurant, you should probably go work in a restaurant first to see if you like it. And then number 3, of course, you say get your finances in order, which makes perfect sense. Well, Carol Roth, thanks so much for coming on this morning and giving us a reality check before anyone goes out and tries to start their dream business. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Alisyn, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including my dad and father-in-law.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks so much, Carol.